All right, guys, welcome back into another NFL DFS video touching on the top picks and lineup process here for this showdown slate between the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Baltimore Ravens. All right, so just kind of a quick preview. This is going to be an ugly game, most likely. This is a slate in which right now, given the lineup process, I've ended up on having way too much salary left over. There's no one really that we feel good about paying up for, and DraftKings just did a strange job pricing this slate. Honestly, if you have $3,000 left over with your lineup, it's probably going to be a good lineup. So very strange slate. I'm going to go ahead and break this down for you guys. So starting on the Baltimore Ravens side, I don't hate Tyler Huntley, just given the fact that he has been running the ball so much, it's intriguing. Obviously gets a better matchup, if you will, against the Steelers defense. Really all it takes for him is to get one touchdown for him to hit value. That's what we're banking on. And maybe he breaks a big rushing touchdown. Just hasn't really looked great lately. I have always decently liked Tyler Huntley. It's just the upside hasn't been there for him. And maybe he finally breaks out, and maybe you put him into the captain spot in like 10% of your builds, hoping for like a big long run touchdown. Okay, that's pretty much it. The thing with this game is it's going to be two teams trying to run the football a ton and burning the clock. So with that, I think the Ravens D is actually going to be a very solid play. And they're a defense in which I'm not saying play him in the captain spot because I think we are going to have some better plays, but I do expect him to get like 8 DK points or so. And that's going to be very difficult to pass up on. At the same time, we have to play someone. And like the players that we would want to play, Mark Andrews would be the first one. But also we don't love it. Like he's playing 81% of the snaps, and that's why we would play him. We know Mark Andrews, a very great NFL tight end, probably the second best in the league. Some might argue, I probably can't say that anymore with Kelsey just dominating. Some might argue prior to the season that Mark Andrews was the best tight end in the league. The thing with it is like he is talented. They do need to give him the ball more. The offense has just been different and not look good. Okay. Still, it's so easy to fit him into your builds. Like if we're just trying to get some raw points, 7 points or so, that's Mark Andrews. Okay. And then the next player that's playing a lot of snaps and is so cheap is Josh Oliver. And like, there's no reason to play him. Okay, but he's playing 81% of the snaps as well. They're running out of a lot of 12 personnel, okay? Just a lot of 2 tight ends and sometimes 2 running backs as well. 2 tight ends and 2 running backs. Like, not that many receivers are getting snaps. If we want to look at the receiver snap counts, guys, it is insane. Demarcus Robinson playing about 60% of the snaps, which he would be the receiver if we're trying to play a Ravens receiver that I would want to go with. And once again, if you choose to go that, you could easily fit him into your builds. We did see Djax kind of see his snaps go down with Sammy Watkins back, so I don't think we can play him. And Sammy Watkins did play the second most receiver snaps, but it wasn't anything significant, only 33%. Andy Isabella saw snaps over Prochet. So just a lot of just trying to get lucky, really. Looking at the running back situation, I do think you could potentially play J.K. Dobbins. I don't hate that. The price point's kind of strange that he's the highest price player in the slate. He's only playing about 40% of the snaps, but he is getting around, let's just say 13 opportunities per game since he's been back. So not a terrible play. Did look good last week, just didn't have a rushing touchdown or 100 yards rushing. We do need him to catch the ball or something, though. We need him to score a touchdown, or else like this was a great NFL game, DFS wise, it just wasn't there. I do think we try to play him, just trying to hope for that upside, but at the same time, difficult to make it work. It's not difficult to make it work. It's just, I don't know. We're banking on a touchdown with that play. But that's kind of the theme of this slate, is that there's no standout plays, so you might as well just pay up for someone like J.K. Dobbins. Looking at Gus Edwards as well, he is someone that's going to get a lot of rushing attempts as well, and this is kind of my problem. It's like, why play J.K. Dobbins when you could just play Gus Edwards? That's the issue that we have on the slate. But basically the exact same plays, except for it was Edwards who broke up a couple big runs last week, and the previous 2 weeks it was Dobbins. So difficult. Yeah. And then obviously Justin Tucker. I feel like everyone's going to be on Justin Tucker because it's always a Justin Tucker slate. Against Pittsburgh last time, a little bit of a bend but don't break scenario, had 11 DK points. So I feel like we're going to be playing Justin Tucker, just as simple as that. All right, let's get into Pittsburgh. There's a little bit better plays on Pittsburgh, which is good. So the Steelers side of it, yes, it's much better. And what is going on again? Deontay Johnson's price tag. Like, what is going on? Why does DraftKings hate him? He should be the highest priced player on this slate. I don't think anyone would question that. Like, he should be. And I'm just going to be playing him in the captain spot, just knowing that it's the correct move. Okay, play him the most snaps out of anyone, which gives him the most predictability, getting a lot of targets. Okay, like I think we can basically lock in 8 to 9 targets. Okay. And you look at what we did last time against Baltimore, 14 DK points, which on the slate we would certainly take. I mean, just been a highly consistent fantasy producer. It's super tough not to love Deontay Johnson given the price point. Like what? I don't know. I don't get why Najee Harris is that much higher priced than him. I don't get why J.K. Dobbins, Tyler Huntley are that higher priced than them. It just doesn't make sense. There's no logic behind it. It's just stupid, honestly. Like I'm annoyed by it, really. I don't get it. I don't. Then looking at Najee Harris has been extremely consistent as well. I kind of mentioned like a lot of people owe Najee Harris an apology because he has been super impressive as of late. Just been getting it done. Okay. Still hasn't topped 100 yards rushing, but that doesn't really matter when he's gaining 9 targets or 20 opportunities or scoring touchdowns. Like he has just found a way to hit value. So Najee Harris, we can easily fit into a build. I think Najee Harris is going to be a spectacular play. No, I shouldn't say spectacular play. Given the slate, should be a spectacular play. And by that, I mean, we should be getting 7 or so DK points. Okay. Oh, this slate sucks. Gosh, but it's fun in that sense that it's terrible. Looking at the quarterback situation, Kenny Pickett, you know, he is throwing the ball a decent amount into some games here. Obviously 39 passing attempts in the previous game. Against Baltimore, got banged up. We saw Trubisky come in, but prior to that, you know, has had games where he's throwing the ball a lot. So that is intriguing to me. And we have seen him get 10 DK points basically every game. So yes, he is someone that I think we can play, just trying to get 10 DK points or so. Should be a good play. And then George Pickens, if you guys want to play him, you can. He is also playing about 80% of the snaps. You know, had a good game last game. More of an okay play. Obviously, I'd rather play Deontay Johnson. I'd rather go Najee Harris. Like, I'm fine with those plays. Looking at Steven Sims Jr., you know, an okay value play. No reason to really try to play him. Playing about 50% of snaps, so not terrible. Steelers D, I do like as well. They played really well against Las Vegas. Pretty much, it seems like they ended both Devontae Adams and Derek Carr's career in Oakland or in Las Vegas. Kind of crazy when you phrase it that way. So going against Baltimore, a team that has really struggled to put up points, like the Steelers defense should be in for a good game. Like they shouldn't go negative, probably lacking in 5 DK points or so. So not a terrible play. Pat Freiermuth, you know, it's if you end up on him, you end up on him. You know, an okay play. You know, pretty much been highly consistent. And maybe, honestly, logically thinking, maybe just go with Freiermuth instead of Mark Andrews. I don't hate that. You know, a little bit cheaper. So let's go ahead and get into the captain's plays. Just telling you guys who those are for me. You guys can figure it out. I kind of already mentioned it. I don't hate J.K. Dobbins, although I don't think it makes sense. If you can fit Harris into one, sure, I like that. But Deontay Johnson is kind of the clear-cut, obvious one. Just super safe and should have a good game. At the same time, I don't mind using a little bit of the defenses if you're trying to make a lineup work. Like, it's okay, that works, but no real like standout plays. The only one is going to be Johnson, just given the price tag. It's just a strange price tag. So let's go ahead and give you guys a first look build. So I am going to put Johnson in the captain spot if you guys couldn't figure that out. And then from there, what can we do? Do you think Harris is going to be the move? Just kind of easy play there. Kenny Pickett should be a safe play. You know, just locking in points is pretty much what I'm trying to go for there. Pat Freiermuth, I do like. You know, George Pickens makes a lot of sense as well. You know, you could either go a lineup like this and then maybe go Steven Sims or Josh Oliver. Like, I'm fine with that. That worked. You know, taking in the raw production there. Like, I'm perfectly fine with that. That makes a lot of sense. Maybe you think Harris isn't going to score a touchdown this game, then you could easily just go Dobbins instead. Like, I'm fine with that as well. You could go Tyler Huntley. Obviously, playing a quarterback, typically always a safe move. But I just don't really like the price points there. Like, it's okay. Don't mind it, but don't love it. So you could easily just go Demarcus Robinson instead of maybe Pickens, pay down. And then you have a lot of salary left over. Could easily go Justin Tucker. Okay, so I'm just showing you guys a lot of different lineup paths that you can make work because there's not a specific one that's going to be perfect. Okay, I like this one because we're just locking in a lot of raw points. Preferably, I would like to get to Najee, and I'll show you guys a way to do that now real quick as well. So, like, this is what I mean. You can make, I'm not saying play Justin Tucker in the captain spot, although you could. Like, you could easily run out a decent build like this and have a lot of salary left over where you're fine with it. Like, it could easily work out well. Now, I would say, I guess, if you're making a build like this, maybe instead of Harris, you go Pickens, because obviously you have 3 pass catchers already. But that's the issue with the slate. With the lack of like great plays, it makes the lineup process strange in the sense that you could really make any lineup work because it's going to be logical. With both the offenses really struggling, you can make anything work. So it's really going to be up to you guys what you guys see fit for the game. I think it's going to be a low scoring game. So I do want to just try to lock in those raw points. So I might be forcing in, you know, obviously Deontay Johnson. I might be forcing in Najee Harris, just play it safe there. and then probably going with maybe Pickens, but trying to get both the quarterbacks in there, and then just maybe Tucker, maybe Ravens D. It should be kind of just straightforward like that. But that's all I have for you guys for this video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. If you did, you know what to do. Give a like and subscribe. That helps me be able to continue to put out more content for you guys. All right, let's have a good slate, and as always, let's keep cashing.